welcome back to Consciousful Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel and clicking on this video. Today's video is going to be on the Twin Flame Collective, Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine updates, how they're thinking and feeling about each other. So I haven't made the video because I frankly have been really booked and extremely busy. Today's video is also going to be short because I do have a lot of personal readings and healings to complete, and I don't want to be backed up. So today's video is not going to be as long. I did start it and then I realized I was taking too long, so I'm starting it again. So let's go ahead and get it started. So I'm going to do an update on the twin flame, the energy, the current collective energy, and then to see how each twin flame is doing, of course. So currently right now I am seeing the twin flames soul contract when it comes to actually bringing this connection into fruition. It's happening right now. An offer is about to be made where I do see there being movement towards stable union, an offer being made towards commitment. This may not be seen until a few days from now or a few weeks, but I am seeing that's what's happening right now. They're also, both of the twins are actually tapping into their individuality. So where their individuality needs to be strengthened, where their independence needs to be strengthened prior to coming into communication or stable union. I do see that right now the twins have still been falling into this addictive roller coaster when it comes to their connection, and have been falling into pain and pleasure and feeling hot and cold, and just like a lot of emotional unavailability that has led them both to feel rejected, stagnated, and kind of like focusing on the negative in this connection. So right now there's been a lot of disconnection in order for both twins to actually go through a self-analysis when it comes to what they need to work on an individual level, so that they could actually trust their partner, so they could have a diplomatic conversation that will create peaceful resolution. Right now I'm also seeing there being grudges, toxicity from the past that's being released. So if there was grudges, unable to move forward from the past, that's being released, especially when it comes to both twins' perspective. Right now also the twin flames expression and ability to give their intentions towards each other, express their emotions and their attitudes and their general habits and moods towards each other is being kind of shifted, because in the recent past it could have been the case where both of the twins were still in this automatic conditioning of reacting to each other in a very potentially unemotional way, in a way that was potentially fueled with disappointment and negativity. So in their recent communication, there could have been fallout, there could have been attitude, there could have been like this general mood of apathy, which resulted in both twins feeling disconnected and just feeling withdrawn and disappointed. So now Divine is actually placing both twins in their independent focusing on themselves independently, so they can actually work through their fears and release any sort of control when it comes to how they're gonna move things forward, how they're gonna communicate. Both twins are actually going through a breakthrough in their mentality when it comes to how they should communicate. I'm seeing specifically Divine Feminine as well, just going through this process of elimination, like realizing that there has to be a way that they could deepen their connection without falling back. And then Divine Masculine is basically thinking there has to be a way that I can communicate with her without feeling scared, right? So there is like this major aspect of both of the twins needing to surrender to respecting each other, giving each other empathy, compassion, and love, so they could actually be true to each other about their feelings, but yet not face any sort of disappointment or negativity when it comes to actually sharing their truth, because both twins are realizing that their heartstrings are still pulling them together. They are coming to realize that as much as they try to move forward, or as much as they try to potentially find evidence outside of themselves that they can move on, or they're over this. They really can't. Both twins are kind of like unable to really process letting this go with old coping mechanisms. So both twins could have felt, okay, well, I'm able to move on if I just create a resolution and find someone else, or I'm able to move on if I just cut them off and block them away. Like, no, both twins realize that even if they walk away towards someone else, or if they block them off completely, it's not gonna work. So both twins are going through this process of elimination, but yeah, also individual ascension and individual upgrades, so they could actually get in touch with their feelings and no longer fear, or no longer fear that there's going to be destruction or some sort of abuse of power if they do release control of their emotions, control of their ego, or control of just like having things under control, because that's something that the twins suffered with a lot, is wanting to maintain control, because they usually lose control when they're in this connection. But now there is an aspect of both twins understanding the contract and understanding the responsibility that it's going to take to actually get into a stable place and not fall into any sort of impulsive communication that may fall into disappointment. So let's go ahead and see how Divine Masculine is thinking and feeling. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and move on to how Divine Masculine is thinking and feeling about the connection. Okay, like, guys, I really was not thinking about doing a reading on the twin flame journey, because frankly, I'm in the twin flame journey, and just like knowing what's happening, sometimes it triggers me because it's just really intense. And I do it because I have to be committed to the content I'm sharing with you guys, and you guys like it. But frankly, it's not that it's not easy for me to do this video, but like it's a little triggering, I guess you could say. I'm just being brutally honest with you guys. So yeah, so 1 second, I have to finalize something. Okay, so currently with Divine Masculine, I am seeing that Divine Masculine is okay, this is funny. So there's a few things happening. He's getting over his idealism of what love is supposed to be, or what he thinks love is supposed to be. He's also overcoming glamorizing negativity. So a lot of Divine Masculines can literally be addicted to the cycle of feeling pain from Divine Feminine. So they could literally be addicted to the misery that it has caused them. This is definitely stemming from a low vibrational Divine Masculine, like Divine Masculine being in a low vibrational state. Divine Masculine, in a way, has been addicted to getting triggered by Divine Feminine, and like this whole cycle of them feeling as though they need to be the one to make the change. It's like they keep falling back into this cycle for some weird reason. And then now it's like they're realizing that they need to not idealize negativity, in other words, and stop paying attention to the part of them that's dragging them down this cycle over and over and over again, to the point of literal insanity. They're also realized that they've been acting, and it's hard for them to admit it to themselves, but they've been acting many ways. So they've been acting and pretending to the people around them that they're happy, whether it's like being single or being with someone else. They realize that they've been acting. They realize that they haven't been true, and they're kind of tired of doing that. There's also an aspect of Divine Masculines realizing that they weren't being realistic of the life that they were living, and they were just numbing themselves in some sort of illusion of security regarding their situation with you, Divine Feminine, but also the situation that they're currently living in, like not being with you, being with someone else potentially, or just numbing the situation, realizing that their control issues and their lack of communication have completely spiraled them down this roller coaster of feeling pleasure and pain. But now they have literally identified the pain as pleasure, which is very strange. This is very weird energy, I'm not gonna lie. but it's coming to the point where they're following their intuition this time, and they're not allowing their mind to pull them down. And they're kind of like in this hurdle where they're trying to avoid their old coping mechanisms. So for a lot of divine masculines, their old coping mechanisms to numb the connection with divine feminine was third parties, substance abuse. Some divine masculines would just like overwork, so workaholic energy, or just completely ignoring it, you know what I mean, blocking them out, etc. Now divine is like not allowing them at all. Now literally Archangel Michael and divine is interrupting their life 100% and making them see how their shadow has been gripping them down into this spiral, and how they've been lying to divine feminine and themselves. And it's like the things that divine masculine didn't reveal to himself is now being revealed, and is being revealed in such a way that all the other coping mechanisms that they have been turned off. So if their coping mechanism was substance abuse, was working a lot, was being with someone else, having options, being in another relationship, that is being eliminated. Either it already has, it is currently being eliminated, or it is completely demobilized to the point where they can't even continue with that, and I'm getting very, very irritated because I believe that the divine masculine is very irritated right now. They're very confused, but then they also are realizing that they are coming clean to their own self-deception and misconception. They're very triggered as well. They're at a space where they have really grieved the connection. So they're kind of grieving this connection. I'm not gonna lie, they're grieving how they have anchored their emotions, how they have been kind of like unable to get on the same page with divine feminine because they weren't revealing a part of their it's like, how I mentioned in the beginning how both twins are working on their individual journey right now. Part of divine masculine was what he's revealing to himself right now on an individual level was a part of him that he wasn't accepting. The part of him that he wasn't accepting was his tendency to lie, to be deceptive, to be tricky, okay, and be manipulative. That was a part of him that he never accepted, even though he kind of knew that was true because he's been caught. He's realized it. But now it's like that's being revealed to him, is his deceptive ways, is his trickery, is his tendency to gaslight, etc. So it's like, since that's being discarded, all he's really faced with is his heart's true desires, and what his heart truly wants is to get into a deeper commitment with divine feminine, enter this new phase. So it's like he's now feeling defeated by the part of himself, aka his shadow, that was stopping him from seeing his true issues. And now it's making him really wise. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, divine masculine is becoming very wise of how he needs to protect and honor his truth, and how he needs to learn from the past in order to actually birth and nurture a connection with divine feminine. So yes, he could be going through karma currently. He could be going through this sudden grief, crying, mourning, a lot of feelings of sadness and depression, I'm not gonna lie. But it's also divine masculine understanding the soul contract, understanding where as an individual he needs to change and how he needs to make this happen in order to go towards what's meant to be for him, right? And he's also in the mix of a lot of energies. He's in the mix of happiness and calmness because he's about to prove to you, divine feminine, that hey, I want this. Hey, I'm gonna move forward. Hey, sorry I made a mistake. I'm silly. I'm gonna move forward with you, but then there's also an aspect of him grieving the loss, and then like desiring you, and then wanting to make intense love, but then falling back into like, I lost her. So it's like, remember, as I said in the beginning, divine masculine has defined the pain of this connection as pleasure. He's getting rid of that addiction, okay? Because everything that he was once using to cope with the disconnection of this connection of your guys' twin flame connection is not working anymore. So the old coping mechanisms, as I mentioned, is not working anymore. All he's really faces is his destiny with you, the desire of making things meaningful and fulfilling, and then the fear that he has to face this. But now Divine is helping him enter a state of peace and calmness when it comes to actually communicating clearly with you. So rest assured, there is going to be changes in communication, changes in this time in the communication coming around. It's actually going to grow. It's going to make things grow rather than creating some sort of confinement or a dead end or a lack of growth. There will be growth, and it will be kind of fast. I'm not going to lie. So let's go ahead and see how Divine Feminine's thinking of you. So I didn't mention a few things that I forgot because there was like too much channeling going on. My brain was processing things too quickly. But so basically a few downloads that I got in the Divine Masculine reading is that Divine Masculine is actually attempting to repeat, like I said, certain patterns of avoiding the connection. Is not going to work. Divine isn't going to let him. So either he may get sick or he's already sick because of this. Him repressing his feelings, okay, not showing his hand, is going to make him physically ill, if it already hasn't. That's a download I got. Another download that I'm getting is a song. It's a song. I don't know the exact name of the song, but basically the way it goes is that he goes, I'm a hustler, baby. Basically, I'm not going to sing this right now because that's kind of awkward. But long story short, basically what he's trying to say is that he doesn't know anyone like you. He's not going to find it. And he's going to prove it to you with his actions, basically. So yeah. Okay, anyway. So the way Divine Feminine is thinking and feeling towards Divine Masculine is that she's also trying to get some sort of proof right now regarding the growth of this connection. She's actually at a space where she's has either had a breakdown recently or is realizing that she may need to clear out her space in order to find peace. She's taking time to pamper herself. She can't afford to rely on this if it's just a dream. So she's trying to connect really deep to her spirit guides, to the relationship with God, to her spiritual connection, to her faith. She's also focusing a lot on needing to find her stamina when it comes to creating abundance for herself. So Divine Feminine focusing a lot on everything good that's happening in her life. So all the money she's getting, all the achievements, all the growth that she is attaining. Divine Feminine is also realizing that there's something within her that Divine Masculine can't see, and that's why Divine Masculine is acting like he doesn't care about her. So there is an aspect of Divine Feminine seeing Divine Masculine as a narcissistic. This is making Divine Feminine want to withdraw from him. But then there's also an aspect of Divine Feminine realizing, okay, if he is pretending he doesn't care, if he pretending he doesn't love me anymore, etc., like whatever is going on, Divine Feminine is actually realizing, okay, there may be a part of myself that has been deceiving myself. So Divine Feminine is actually going through this analysis, right? Going through this contemplation and realizing that how at one aspect, at one point, Divine Feminine was actually lacking the self-assurance, lacking that self-confidence, lacking the ability to potentially get out of her comfort zone in order to feel that that self-confidence or that self-assurance, which is something that she could have been waiting for Divine Masculine to confirm to her. Yeah, she's actually not realizing that, okay, it was potentially my lack of independence, my lack of stability, my lack of my own financial security that has been creating these cycles as well. So Divine Feminine is in a way transforming and releasing the blockages within herself that's actually going to bring Divine Masculine to be less strategic, to come clean, to confess, right? To make him turn over a new leaf. And she's also realizing that it's in her silent moments, right, when she's withdrawn, when she's feeling insecure, that she needs to go within herself instead of pushing communication, or instead of, pushing the divine connection to unfold on itself. She's actually realizing that it's better for her to gain her strength on her own rather than trying to communicate with divine masculine, because it's only going to stop them from unfolding naturally. So she's like recognizing that, she needs to free herself. She needs to gain her wisdom, okay, in order for there to be movement. She recognizes that there hasn't been a peaceful resolution due to there not being a stable offer. And then she's also concerned if there's ever going to be a stable offer, if there's ever going to be something that's actually going to help her feel confident that this is actually going to move anywhere in the near future. So Divine Feminine is actually at a space where she's connecting with her environment, okay? Divine Feminine is being flooded, okay, with a lot of options, to the point where these options are giving her a feeling that she may need to let go of Divine Masculine, that there could be love that could be found somewhere else. And it's concerning her because she's feeling as though she may backstab him, or she may regret this decision. But then there's also an aspect of her that feels so uncertain about where the future's headed with Divine Masculine that she's not sure if she can trust the process. So what she's actually wanting and seeking is that there is clarity for the future. There is a pathway here. There is physical evidence of her Divine Masculine saying, hey, we're gonna move out of these rocky waters, out of these troubled waters. We're gonna get into a calmer space. We're gonna be able to get progress. We're gonna be able to move forward. So Divine Feminine is actually literally seeking. She's in hermit mode, seeking for the light, which is a start. She's seeking for her faith to be renewed. She's seeking for answers. She's seeking for inspiration to kind of keep her calm. Even if Divine Masculine is reaching out to her, she's still wanting to know, like, hey, even if I do reach out, is it gonna fall us back into him ignoring his emotions, him being selfish, him not cooperating, him hiding? And then for those that are not receiving communication from their Divine Masculine, that fact that he's not communicating with you or with Divine Feminine, is making Divine Feminine doubts get a lot stronger. So Divine Feminine is still trying to hold on emotionally, but she's also at a space where she's double guessing herself. And so she's trying to deepen her connection with Divine, or people that have answers, like, hey, is this actually going to go somewhere? Because there are other options. And I need to know if there's going to be prosperity that lies between ahead of me and my Divine Masculine. If not, I'm going to have to release. I'm going to have to let go. This is too negative for me. I can't fall back. It's like Divine Feminine is realizing she can't fall back, because either she has already fallen back or she's moving forward. So there's a huge emphasis of Divine Feminine feeling as though she needs to triumph at whatever cost, and it may cost for her to leave Divine Masculine behind. But what she's praying for and what she's wishing is that Divine Masculine shows up, that he shows up being available, emotionally available, or literally single, like available, learning from his past lessons, learning from any karmic contracts, learning from any resentment or triggers, right? She wants there to be genuine, certain reciprocation of love. And she's yearning for this, and she's praying for this, and she's hoping for this. And yeah, all I could really say is that what's about to happen is definitely going to surprise a lot of you twin flames. It's going to surprise a lot of you guys. I'm really excited to hear what's going to happen with all of you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are in the twin flame journey, of course, if you're watching this. But have faith. If you are the Divine Feminine listening, have faith. I know it seems that it's a dead end, and it probably does feel that way, especially if your partner has been gaslighting you, stuck with someone else, or just literally disrespecting you in some sort of way, have faith, things are going to change. Know that there is an aspect of you that still needs to be transformed, and you're still needing to face your shadow work. And if you are the divine masculine, understand that you must surrender to the shadow, and you must face it at all costs. There's no ignoring that you can do at this moment, and this is only going to be for the better of you and your connection with your divine feminine and for the collective consciousness. Because as we all know, divine feminine and divine masculine, the twin flame connection, it is about love. It is about connecting after lifetimes and lifetimes of being separated and then coming back together to heal. But ultimately, as a twin flame in this current lifetime, when you guys connect again, it is going to enhance the collective consciousness. So what I mean by that is that it's going to raise the frequency of the planet, because you guys are together. And as you guys are together, you guys could actually go towards your life mission, which is helping people, healing people, waking up people. And yeah, you guys can do that separately, but it's not the same, and it's not meant to be done separately. It's a dual journey. It's a dual mission, and it must be done together. So yeah, things are gonna unfold. If you want a personal reading, you can go to my website, consciousfultarot.com, or click and look at the description below and click on my services there. Have a good one. Bye, star friends.